It's all about humanity.
We're interrupting today's video to give a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Yes Auto. Yes Auto is the one-stop shop for buying any car, with an experience that's always easy and enjoyable. Navigating onto the website, you can select each brand that you want to look at, each model, and even down to colour variant. You can also select through the images, as well as looking at brand new cars in 360 degrees inside and out. I myself spend a lot of time just looking at cars for sale, so it's awesome to jump on the Yes Auto website to have a look at cars for sale. You can even do a smart search on new and used cars with an option to select cash price or monthly costs. Their aim is to make car buying easy and enjoyable. Yes Auto are the one-stop shop offering a simple, impartial way to configure and compare new and used cars from almost any manufacturer, with a whole load of clever tools and media content for total reassurance. Once again, a huge thank you to Yes Auto for sponsoring today's video. There is a link in the description to the Yes Auto website. Thank you so much again to Yes Auto for sponsoring today's video, but let's get back to the action.
So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the keys to a Mazda 3 MPS. I believe this car to be one of the most underrated cars you can buy today on the used market. This one I picked up today has actually been an ex-Airtech development car, and I've actually seen it a few times, but today I get to enjoy it in what is relatively a standard form. This one literally has an air filter and is lowered. That's it. And that is the perfect scenario for me to take this car out and see if you would actually buy one. I don't see too many of these on the road. I don't see too many of people really modifying them. And they are, you know, up there with pricing. I think, you know, they're holding their money at the moment. Now, from the factory, these come with the 2.3 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine up front, driving the front wheels. They have a 6-speed manual box. Now that is the best scenario for a hot hatch, in my opinion. It gives the most excitement and the best experience. That's really what you're going to get with one of these Mazda MPSs, the experience and the fun, chuckable side of one of these MPSs is what it's all about. Now, very, very easy to modify. Again, this one is completely standard. It literally has an air filter on it, that is it. So again, this is the car you're probably going to end up getting yourself into. Pricing wise, I'm really going to touch on straight away. We're going to get more into the driving, but the pricing on these is something to talk about. Now, I think they're still commanding strong money. The previous generation of this, you know, still kick around for about 3 to 4 to 5, maybe even 6 grand for a really nice one. These ones, I've seen them for around 8 grand, which I still think is quite a lot of money, and they are holding price very, very well. Again, please get at me in the comments. I want to know your thoughts. Do you own one of these? Have you ever thought about buying one? And what sort of prices can you get these cars for? Having a look, you know, from time to time at these and the prices that they go for, I haven't really seen too much fluctuation in the pricing, in how much these are. So that's one really, really big positive, is that they are holding their money very well. Secondly is, of course, the Mazda engineering and the Japanese really knowing how to build a car. Even when you throw loads of power through one of these, I do think they're incredibly reliable. So to actually do stuff to this is easy, it's going to be enjoyable, and you shouldn't have too many failures out of the other end. So what's it like to drive? That 2.3 litre comes on at around 2.5, 3,000 RPM. Nice surge of power. Again, this is a completely standard, you know, bar and air filter. I know I keep saying completely standard, but it is as standard as it's going to get. So the power is incredibly linear on this car from the factory. It comes on boost really nicely, and it's a pretty flat curve going around. I think, you know, you'll feel that when you drive one of these. It flattens at about 3,000 and really just carries on all the way around to, you know, 6,500 RPM. Got a boost gauge in front of us, but it's not your traditional boost gauge. It actually just goes up in increments in front of you, which is pretty cool. Again, that's sort of a Japanese thing, but it's a cool styling cue again with the dials, the same as the sort of RX-8 style dials. They're like 2 cones coming out towards you, and the dash is, although very plasticky, don't get me wrong, everything is laid out where it should be, and it is typical Mazda with a bit of quirkiness with some round dials. The notchiness of the gearbox is something to point out as well, because again, this is a factory car, and that second gear lovely notch. Chuck it into this roundabout. Although it's lowered, yeah, you can feel a bit of roll, but not too bad. That gearbox is lovely though. I just don't feel like there's loads of these cars out there. There isn't too many people that are actually doing stuff to them. I've, you know, shot a few of the previous generation. I think we've shot one of these in the past. So I do, you know, remember them being very, very good. They're nice handling. They're really nice to be in. It's super comfy in here. I just think if you're looking for one of these, there's a couple of things you should really look out for. The first one being just service history. Like every car that I drive that I think, you know, people should go and own, service history is key. Them being underrated, I don't think you're going to find too many destroyed ones out there. I think there was a one near me when these cars came out, and it was a school run car for, you know, a mum and a dad and the kids. So it didn't really get a lot of, you know, head kicking in and stuff. So I think you'll be able to find a pretty nice one, or at least an unmolested one, very easily. They're not flooded in the market. I don't feel that there's loads of them for sale, but I do think that there's enough of them around you to get a good one. This is actually showing that the MPG we've been getting on this is 25 MPG on this shoot, which I don't think is too bad. I have been enjoying myself. It is a 2.3 litre. It does sound really good, although again this is a standard car. There's not too much coming out of the rear end. There's no exhaust system. Sounds really good coming from the front end. I think there's so much potential here, and that's where I find the underrated side of this car, is that I don't see many of them. When I do talk to people, people say they have them, and you know, they wouldn't necessarily buy any other hot hatch than this one. I do feel like this is a little bit of a hot hatch. Yes, it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more weighty than other hot hatches. I feel like that's part of the charm in a weird way. The part that I like the most about this car is that there isn't many of them. They are incredibly good to drive. It's a bit of a different car to the cars that I've been shooting recently, where it's a little bit understated, it's a little bit unknown in that sense. I literally never ever hear of people saying that they want to go and buy one of these, and that is a real shame, because I think a lot of people out there would be able to afford one, be able to afford the modifications and enjoy this thing. But there isn't just too many people out there doing it, which means for me, I love to go and drive one. I want to go and see what it's like. And I must report back and say that although there isn't many out there, I still don't understand why there isn't. So please leave a comment below if you know. Underrated, 100%. I do think driving around, people wouldn't even know what this car was until you sort of pointed out that it had the different bonnet on it and it said MPS on it. I don't think many people have ever enjoyed one of these cars enough to say they would, you know, go out and actually buy one and drive it. It's a funny one, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, massive thank you to the guys at Lucky Devil Car Competitions for letting me shoot this car today. I'll see you all on the next one.